We look at core funding as essential to who we are. And so, the definition of core funding that I'm using here is funds that are available for strategic investment within an organization. And the organization is the group that decides what that strategic investment is. And I think you have a situation where organizations are struggling with not just that they need it, and not just how to get it, but what's the structure that's going to see that develop. And it really becomes around your business model. It's about knowing your costs. How much does it cost this organization, my organization, your organization to do our business? Once you know that and you incorporate those strategic investment desires into those costs, you can then appropriately bill all your clients that way. But you have to have a strong knowledge of what your core business costs in order to get to a point where you can start developing a core funding model. And in order to do that, you have to have strong financial management, you have to have strong grants management, you have to have strong HR policies and things that you show are the building blocks to your business model, right? And in order to do that, you've got to have this investment. And so RTI is doing that. We're doing that in programs where we have a number of grantees. Our Kinerja project in Indonesia and our Stride project here is very much about giving grants to local organizations for a specific technical purpose, but there's a capacity building element to it. There's other projects that were mentioned actually in the plenary today, like the Knowledge Sector project, which is an enormous investment by the Australian government. RTI is the prime on that project with some wonderful partners. And the whole core of that project is how do we build both the technical and the operational capacity. And one of the great things about that particular project is it's enabled us to give direct core funding as a kind of incubator startup and say, this is your strategic plan, we're going to support you with this core funding to help implement and prioritize, but it's very much demand driven. So they tell us what they're going to do with that, and we provide technical assistance around that. So there are growing opportunities within the development sector where donors are recognizing this. I think similar to DFAT, USAID is really going through some thinking trends right now around how they're going to change their grants model. Whether it's looking at a spectrum of organizations in low, medium, and high risk, which allows higher risk organizations access to things that they wouldn't have had 5 or 6 years ago. And that's an important step of solving that chicken and egg problem that you were mentioning earlier.